How do they, guys, and welcome back to Edgar TV, where we're going to look at a moment that happened today in the Modus Super Series. This was Gavin Carlin versus Franz. I myself was on commentary for this, where we nearly had a dart in the hand. This is a near miss for Franz, but also a near miss for potentially the most viral video that would ever existed in darts. Now, I can't show you the footage here on YouTube, but if you want to see that, you can go over to my Twitter page. You'll see it here at the Edgar 501, where you'll be able to watch the video in its full. But there's a couple of comments here on this video that really got me interested. We see here Craig Higgins, curious as to what would happen if Carlin had hit him with the dart though. And also, we've got a comment a little bit further down which I didn't actually respond to. Said, what would have happened if he hit him apart from the hole in the hand? I said it would have hurt. But obviously there is a lot more to it than obviously it hurting. And we'll get to that in a second. I'll let you know what the outcome would be. First of all, let's review what exactly happened. So, Franz was taking his darts out the board, as you see here. Gavin's come to the board. Franz is collecting his darts out the board. Gavin has already started his throw. The last dart in the hand sort of stuck in the board a little bit. And you see here it sort of bounces back and returns into the board. And he comes back to collect that dart. You see Gavin's already thrown the dart. The dart is already coming out of the hand. You can see here, if you look at the top of your screen, a very, very near miss. Here's the thumbnail showing you just how close that was. And Franz just able to move his hand out of the way in time. It was a very, very close miss. Gavin then saw the funny side, apologises, and actually went on to hit 2 treble 20s after this incident. And then Franz came back and I think hit a 180 of his own. So, didn't really affect the game, and neither player really lost any sort of momentum within the game. But certainly we could look at the rulebook to see what would have happened if that would have hit. We're going to take a look at the rulebook. The rulebook we're going to look at is DRA, the Darts Regulation Authority. These overlook both the Modus Super Series but also PDC darts in general, and they say rule 5.7.6 section 5, I think that's 5 or is it 4? The non-throwing player should not commence their throw until the opposing player has exited the exclusion zone following the retrieval of their darts. Now, this is something that didn't happen. The darts haven't been retrieved, and the player has not exited the exclusion zone, so it would be an offence against this rule in that situation. So, what could the possible outcome be? So these are the possible punishments that come into play. So in first instance, it's an issue of a formal warning. If the behaviour consists, the player could be docked a leg. If the behaviour continues after a second warning, such as, Gavin, you keep coming in the exclusion zone, I've told you twice, Franz has got a dart in the back of his head, he's got one in his hand, now he's got one in his leg, I think it's time that we dock you a leg. So that leg can be done, and we can also go on to forfeit the match, which will probably be at the point that Franz looks like a pincushion or some form of voodoo doll. Actually seen very similar incidents to this happen in the Premier League itself. Gerwyn Price and Michael van Gerwen. Gerwyn Price going to throw his dart when Michael hadn't fully exited the hockey at the point. Michael van Gerwen gives him a bit of a look, sort of brushed past his ear. Really close sort of down the barrel shot there. Quick apology and all is good. It also happened a couple of years previous to this as well, when Phil Taylor actually bending over to pick up his dart and Mervyn King threw one over the top of him. I think Taylor was a bit unaware of that at the time, but certainly caused a couple of talking points back then. Let's say if you do want to go check out this video from today, you can get it on my Twitter at the Edgar 501 or on my new TikTok channel, Edgar TV 08, if you want to go watch this video in its entirety. But just give you a bit of a background and the what could have potentially happened if that dart would have hit the hand. I can tell you one thing, it would have sucked if you're Franz. If you enjoyed this video, guys, please do hit a like just underneath. Hit the subscribe button. I'll talk you through all things darts right here on Edgar TV. Edgar TV.